What is going on YouTube? This is Acid Root. So I'm going to review the third album by Canadian heavy. I'm going to review the third studio album by Canadian heavy metal band Kittie. As far as these players album, based on this particular project, it's called Until the End, and it came out in the summer of 2004. So within pitches amongst it here, as far as these pitches album, with the next type phrases, some gothic metal within pitches like that. I didn't realize that this is particularly kind of death metal as well as some of these pitches, kind of the aspects as far as saying within some of these type aspects, get into more gothic type ones within a pitch of. The particular variety now within these hit type appeals, paying attention like particular aspects within these tones compared to like In This Moment, Evanescence, some type bands like that within pitches, a little bit of traces of Avril Lavigne, some of those type aspects of the pitch as far as saying within these particular tones, then similarities towards it. Now this is a banner type band within pitch like that in certain type degrees. It's more wayside within appeal, but this has some degrees of commercial type appeal within the aspect for being death metal and traces of thrash metal as well within pitch like that. It's not too It's not a superb kind of amount of commercial kind of thrash metal within pitch like that, apart from Metallica and in certain traces kind of apart from Metallica and certain traces kind of Megadeth pitch like that. So within the phrase and good timing here within pitch like that. Now, particular Kittie has a number of particular albums pitch like that, so I'm going to start getting towards some of these type ones within sense of pitch, but it's a hit type album within breakout type appeal. Minor traces. This kind of feels like Evanescence or In This Moment kind of on a day that's just kind of more within the Seacrest kind of aspect of like the tone of this post-hour type romps to get to. So within hit type pitch as far as saying as a tone, this like the fair amongst this band is this is death metal within these pitches, but it has the aspect of like a good kind of like silky kind of voice within like the more radio type grabs on here as far as these pitch come. Now this only had one single, unfortunately, so what's gonna pitch just the aspect that a death metal album even had a single whatsoever is pretty good within these pitches, but it's kind of variety as far as saying some of these type compositions was kind of this. It's kind of a mishmash like particular atmospheres that it was kind of constructed among. So it's kind of pitched as far as saying paying attention like the phrase as far as this album did sell 20,000 copies practically within its first week as far as these first albums. So it did a pretty large spread type deal was the pitch as far as saying paying attention towards it. It's an interesting type phrase trying to make death metal kind of commercial and pitch like this. So it's a number of type appeals, but this definitely some gothic typeness. It has the screamo typeness on here, so it's similar. It's like this particular the starlet on here, Morgan Lander within pitch like that. And seems like the female kind of Corathon from Bathory and some of those type folks like that pitches with some of those hit type phrases, other type bands like particular like Cattle Decapitation, some of those type ones. And Carcass, ones like that, some of these death metal ones I reviewed in the past for these pitch albums, but then hit type phrase for us and do like the aspect of kind of getting like basically like taking Evanescence but then throwing it kind of in like death metal as far as this pitch album. So it's good, nice pitch. It's kind of commercial, but then kind of not. As far as this pitch album has some dungeon type music on here. Good, nice, varies amongst the product of getting towards the product like some romping type phrase. It has like it's. There's some backyard type tunes on here as far as these pitches can have a little bit of barbecue type fist pitch like that. Some hosting type phrases gonna have goth gal within tow as far as these pitches can just paying attention like the phrase making like bagel bites and sense the Ferris cooking like particular making something to the effect of peanut butter cookies for some of these type aspects in the pitch as far as talking about some of these type phrases, Aaron type romps for some of these type pitches, standard kind of Fig Newton type runs and pitch like that to some of these hit type phrases, some drinking games and pitch like that for like the fair, like some homicide kind of collects this pitch as far as saying, but this is pretty carnivorous within the pitch as far as saying a little bit more feral than like the aspect, even though Evanescence within some of these type tones we get to like a craze type fact within those pitches like the rile up type ones they have within those pitches. This has more kind of within the mosh type energy of like the vent where it is kind of on traces of Megadeth and Sons of Pitch, so it's kind of fair. There are some mosh songs on here and just screamo type ones in the pitch are just a little bit more crank up within the pitch. When you think of Evanescence within Sons of Pitch, it's a little bit more commercial within like the aspect of like gothic metal and pitch like that. But some of these type ones, it's kind of like going from like the difference from Megadeth to it's kind of like going within like the difference. If Evanescence would be Metallica, this is probably more the aspects of Megadeth as far as what's supposed to happen. Just mildly kind of separated. It's full blown for like the commercial light within Sense of Pitch, but kind of the aspects as far as saying some of these type players, it does have the particular bite as far as just getting towards the fray of more kind of collect within the tones of this more breakout type players. So this has, you're going to get a little bit more shit faced off some of these type albums compared to like the full button typeness, like the Evanescence type players, which has a little bit more club step out and kind of populous in terms like co-worker and everyday type fare, but there are some moments like Muzak type fare off here is just kind of more within like the traverse of like rush hour kind of orange skies, red skies kind of slog pit Red skies, pink sky. Red skies, pink skies, kind of slog pitch like that. But some good nice sprays and pickups for standard miss pitch like that. Some stuff, some of these stuff pitch like I was saying. Just cook like some smoothies pitch like that. Grab like some ham. Grab like some fettuccine noodles and pitch like that, and elbow macaroni as far as this pitch. Having some good nice pitches coming up with like the products as far as these pitches have in addition to like the standard kind of dungeon shit faceness. So within pitch, only one single off this product, but I do recommend all 11 songs off this album pitch like that as far as these pairs. These pairs gonna have, but it's really 10 songs I'm gonna talk about because Into the Darkness, the vocal remix, which is the differential version, like the single, it's just the pitch. It's the same song as like the original. It just doesn't have the screamo. It's like the ad libs on the particular song, the background type vocals on there, and the verses. Other than that, it's the same song. It's just good, nice pitch. Just Into the Darkness, the vocal remix, just a little bit more toned, like more commercial type radio type grab, within just seemingly more Apple with like a more clean type fit. But either way, the hits. I do appreciate the original one with the screamo vocals. Original type one with the screamo vocals pretty hittingly, so the pitch like that definitely hit that phrase. So within the aspect, then pitch for saying so Into the Darkness, the lead single and only single off this product is real dope. Within these sorts of pitch, like an excellent kind of rush hour and bark to get towards there. Does he feeling some suicide towards gal pitch like that? Sends the phrase by suicide, talking about like talking about like some mixed slushies or particular Coke and Dr. Pepper, some of that is just Slurpee type drinks that are going to be with the aspect, just throwback type days to like particular gas station type phrase within some of that bronze pitch like that. Just getting some of those type ones. It's kind of party and bullshit type fair, just more in the outing type, step aside neighborhood type phrase pitch like that. Just pick up some potato wedges, also good pitch like that. Just some standard kind of just off brand. Kind of more offhand type shit, some of those type phrases. If it's not every day that you get cheese curds and potato wedges, some of those pitches, or even tater tots, some of those phrases, just kind of pick up some of those sideline type things, pitch like that. Some pork rinds and corn nuts, pitch like that. Some of those type phrases get pitched amongst that. Definitely some kind of parkside type, really, as far as those pitches. Just paying attention, like standard miss, some of those type products that just kind of. Let's hear something whimsical that you have to say, pitch like that, as far as those pitches. I'm just paying attention, like the fray. You have like some weird ingredients that you like to put on food, something like that, or you like Elvis, like you like Elvis that likes to particularly put peanut butter on hot dogs or whatever it was, like pickle relish on peanut butter sandwiches, some of those stuff. However, he did those particular ones pitched like that. Sounds surprised. Probably likely within those pitches, Goth probably has some particular type, dynamic type of. Dynamic type of red flag pitch like that, just real freakazoids for us with them, an excellent type pitch. So that's the fray amongst the promotion amongst the sounds. The other 9 songs I recommend pretty full bound off here as well. So some of these type ones. So another nice one with these pitches that's pretty similar to like Into the Darkness, which has a certain degree of like commercial glam factor amongst it, as well as In Dreams. As far as these first games, like a get some leftover shit done. I'd definitely say a good pitch like that. Just post out grind to get towards. Gal needs like some hair dye pitch like that. Just kind of weekday routine pitch like that. So a good 1-2 punch with Into the Darkness. As far as these pairs going to happen. It's a good amount of commercial glam. So not every single song has like the more kind of melodic vocals off here pitched like that. So, melodic vocals off here pitched like that. Some of these type ones like Career Suicide. There are some particular type ones, and Morgan Lander's pretty good at like the screamo type fair with them pitch like that. Definitely some hit type phrase for us saying paying attention towards it. It's a good aspect. This kind of get like the carnage kind of going. So this hit type pitches, you almost could mistake her for like a male within those pitches just to say a pitch like that. Definitely good shout outs for this pitch gonna happen. Definitely takes cojones as far as this pitch having a good pitch like that within the fray. Can be an ASCON further than that, but you get the idea as far as this pitch kind of having good excellent products, but particularly Pussy Sugar is a hitting type one, also known as Sugar, just within the standard type phrase, whether or not the product kind of amongst it, but the hit type phrase, definitely Pussy Sugar is hit type one. It's like a rampant kind of mosh carnage and dozy dough and to kind of get towards your pitch like that. So it's kind of the get, it's good nonsense and excellent kind of nonsense and homestead type boogie pitch like that. Let's hear your scream voice with standard miss for us. You're supposed to have them just get some BB guns going pitch like that. Now within the fray, if it's more city bound pitch like that, probably not as full bound, probably just some backyard type nest. Just have like a BB gun nearby, kind of something to kind of get that stress vent going out, something like that. So just something to shoot like a BB gun at as far as those pitch going to happen. Buy like an apple or something like that and put like a picture or something you hate on there, something like that. Just get some you could give examples, pitch like that, but just the phrase as far as just something, just some cut out from like a magazine or a newspaper to kind of get pissed off at pitch like this. Stress fans supposed to pitch, but it's definitely the product. Now, it's not to say it's fun. It's just all. Standard galley a little bit better within pitches. Also, just some good wrestle wrangle type music pitch like that. Just kind of kick her butt or something like that. Sounds like pitches. The aspect just kind of being stupid and phrase like that. Just kind of throw around type music pitch like that. But the phrase just dozy do instead of mess hall type. Just really get loud and productive pitch like that. Suppose the first gonna happen. It's good, nice boogie within pitch like that. Definitely good stress relief and vent. Suppose the first having good excellent pitches. Red flag is the hitting type 1 off here as well. It's like a feeling riled and card game kind of competitive night to get towards pitch like this. And some of these type 1s within pitches is kind of some of those type muscle type phrase, but kind of just more with the recreation type phrase. So it's kind of probably just a dungeon type song, but it's kind of pitch it just a little bit more kind of like a little bit more intensive and kind of within the product to just like, hey, screw you, homie, bite me, bitch. Some of those type phrases like that kind of pitch it, just whether poker or some of these type phrases, game night, or just like the bets, some of those type pitches. Some sort of fair that has like the collective kind of roused in some of the pitch, whether it is just like a tough video game or something like that. Some of the pitch is just playing like an active round of Monopoly and folks are getting peeved, something like that. But it's kind of hit. It's not within the product of breaking things within the household pitch like that, but it's the phrase just screw you, homie, not kind of friendly screw you, homie. Some of those pitch is definitely within the product towards gal pitch like that. Just purposely kind of grinding her gears pitch like that. Just bite me, bitch. You can suck one as far as this pitch can have. Just paying attention towards that. Would get some Oreos though for some of those type pitches. It's kind of probably keeping up with some of the phrase, not just to be bloodthirsty with them probably, but just kind of make like some s'mores or go on like an Oreo run, something quick within those aspects for the pitch can have. But it's kind of probably to just kind of game night and good activity collect pitches like that as far as what's supposed to happen. Daughters down is a good. Daughters Down is another good nice one. It's like a great Megadeth kind of dungeon but screamo type tune pitch like this. So kind of within the phrase, some of those type ones definitely similar to Megadeth, Slayer, some of those type ones, other 80s type other 80s type dungeon music pitch like that. Just kind of get some drinking games going pitch like that. Some of the phrase kind of have the loosen up type phrase. Just getting unloose underneath the just getting unloose underneath the collar pitch like that. Just health check for standard miss. Some pitch just paying attention to the phrase. Some of these type ones, the product of this craziness. The crazo type factor amongst these type ones like Daughters Down, in particular Red Flag, and other type pitches like Burning Bridges pitch like that. The craze type fact, the craze and crazo type factor is a little bit more revved up and amplified within pitch like that compared to like the Freya, like the particular pitch, like the usual kind of alt metal and just kind of more standard goth metal typeness amongst Evanescence. So it's a pitch for us saying some of these type ones are probably the product as far as paying attention with like standard gothy pitch like that. So it's as far as like getting towards the crank up like these drinking games, probably within pitch having some health check in their pitch like that. And it's not just after third drink or fourth drink, fifth drink, something like that as far as saying kind of pitch for us saying just paying attention to like the product, how many bottles are actually there within pitch like that. And it's just like, hey, I'm noticing that there were 4 or 5 bottles pitched like that. Now there's only 2, some of these stuff pitches, and there's only 5 or 7 folks here within some of the pitches. That liquor had just doing that particular period, that liquor had to go somewhere. So some of y'all are probably either on like your 10th or 13th shot, or some of y'all are just have been spilling a lot of this on the carpets for those physical apps. So just health check with standard galley pitch like that, but definitely some 21 questions type fair pitch like that. It's kind of getting just a product. Definitely liking when Galley's kind of on some motor mouth chat type factor pitch like that. It's kind of phrase as far as just like the product kind of amongst it. It's like the actual thick and the meat of the night as far as the physical kind of where the rev up is still kind of on the up ramp as far as the physical. So kind of paying attention like the pitch, it is keeping like the product of like the ball in motion as far as those pitch just getting towards the hit type product. Now the other type phrase within pitch, trying to think of some other type ones, obviously 21 questions is one of those type phrase, but also the product of some further type ones within pitch as far as just like drinking type games. And it's not obviously take a drink if is a real easy type one within pitch like that, but that's a pretty simple type one to really get torqued to. So some of those type pitches as far as like the product of this have I ever, some of those type ones, like, just pitch like that within those type of phrases for us to pitch kind of have just within the aspect, but paying attention like the variety to just not turn it into like an ICU type invitational and pitch like that. So hit that phrase for saying with good aspects like that. Career suicide is a nice one off here as well. It's like an excellent kind of mess hall and game night type nonsense. Get towards here. Pretty similar to Red Flag, but it's not as full bound competitive within it, but within the same variety. Definitely towards Gal and pitch like that. Since that fares just folks in general, good nice pitches. But definitely towards Gal, you got stories since the pitches. Look at Chuck Norris over here with all these war stories. It's kind of the pitch of just questioning. You had a few fights with Bruce Lee and some of those type folks. Let's talk all about femmes, particular martial arts type trophies, pitch like that. Sounds a phrase probably look cute AF and gi as far as those press guys. If you don't know what gi is, the karate outfits, pitch like that, but the pitch for us and pitch like that. Goth folks can't do martial arts. They have too many piercings as far as the pitch guy, but just hit up right. You probably looked like some witch doctor out of Zimbabwe or pitch like that. Hit up right. But the aspects for saying good pitch as far as this is going to happen. Look like a Michael Jackson jacket or something. Looking like a Michael Jackson jacket, some of those type of pitches. Also, the aspects for us saying until the ends of hitting type 1 as well. It's like a solid post out, going to streak along to get towards here. Just grab like hamburger helper, pitch like that. Some sort of take the edge off type factor for like the product, like some cook shift and pitch like that. Just chirp folks along the way. Chirp galley sense of pitch amongst this kind of product. Just stoking folks. Just be like, hey, going to smoke for like a good 45 minutes. Sense of pitch when I get done with that particular pair, going to get towards it. Get some real crank up going as far as this pitch kind of just the definite excite, kind of on the good pre-jump within the pitch. Usually when you think of pre-jump and it has to do with work or something like that, it's kind of the annoyance factor having to go through the gripe pitch like that. But just the fair, just saying the jump is kind of the product of just you got hamburger helper sense of pitches, going to smoke a little bit within pitch like that before the tear gets to more further type race happening. Some of those type pitches. Up within like. Up within like the aspect, your haircuts have been looking pretty mean within. Your haircuts have been looking pretty mean within the past few whiles. Pitch like that sounds a phrase. Either that or you've been finding them. So, either that or y'all have been finding like some real good wigs out of the particular trash bin as far as those phrase. I'm hit top pitch like that, but the phrase for saying pitch like that, it's kind of get to us the aspect. Not complaining either not complaining either assortment amongst the pitch like that, but the phrase for saying good nice pitches. Loveless is a hitting type 1 off here as well as like some backyard splits to get towards. Definitely some terrible with like some great sweets and pitch like that and barbecues as far as these first I'm just kind of have some of that type fare, whether it's ribs or just hot dogs and particular standard burger type fare pitch like that. Hit that phrase amongst this host fest definitely within the product, just having some products of just outdoor type fares with pals and standard the pals and femme collect as well. Good pitch like that. Hit that phrase is having a social app. Some solitary kind of social appetites versus kind of not just saying 2 or 3 things, then that takes care of it. The pitch is just having like the candidness to kind of, in my opinion, have some social show. In my opinion, with the vibes it gave me, has some social showcase for a spell as far as this pitch. I'm good at good products, social appetites for us to pitch. I'm just cookies for femmes for us to pitch. I'm make like some peanut butter cookies, like I was saying, good pitch like that. Some hit type 1s, M&M type 1s, and certain type fries within the product. If you have you have the knowings of a pitch like that, but the phrase for us saying just good gas for us these pitch. I'm just kind of just stupidity pitch like that. Playing these type fairs, kind of just notice like the dumbness ratio, paying attention like some stupid shit that you saw in like a particular movie, something like that. Something stupid about Without a Paddle, which is a pretty dope type movie pitch like that. But this phrase is some of those type pitches, Nacho Libre ones like that. Throws those pitch kind of a hit type phrase amongst the plenty. Just standard gas pitch like that with the hint type phrase, but definitely some meme pack on top of that. Just gas and bullshit as far as those pitches. I'm an excellent type pitches. I think some other type ones I haven't talked about off here. I think one of the last type ones I haven't talked about is Burning Bridges. For these first, Burning Bridges like a great dungeon, sloshed his shit from Jack Daniels and pitch like that. So that phrase just go for a pizza run. So that phrase now within product, if you are torn out from Jack Daniels, probably not within a driving type fashion, but the pitch for us saying just pizza type runs nearby, kind of Little Caesars or some of these type places, kind of now probably. The product of bringing back the pizza before it gets. The only factor amongst it is just trying to figure out how to get the pizza back to the product without it getting cold within those sorts of pitches. But it's the product to have some of that figured out pitch like that. Some cold solid later as far as this pitch can happen for standard gothy pitch like that. Paying attention like the phrase is kind of the particular aspect of further hosting type fits amongst like the dungeon type carnivorousness, but more indoor type fare within the pitch. Just like the collect like the further on go into like the festivity pitch like that. So kind of midway through as far as this pitch I haven't missed. This thing. Definitely dungeon type carnage, but within the simmering type areas, just figuring out the most kind of pitch like that. But yeah, definitely cold saw later once the pitch behind it gets towards some of those products, just kind of like, yep, we're gonna you know about how many shirts and clothing you burned away from like smoking and otherwise cooking type fashions pitch like that within those phrases pitch like that. But yeah, cold saw type fits pitch like that. I think there might be one other type 1 pitch as far as these pitches that happen. I think the last type 1 I haven't talked about on here full bound with these pitches look so pretty as far as this pitch happen. Looks so pretty. It's like a smoked out kind of cottonmouth relievers get towards here. So just good smoke sesh pitch like that, but just paying attention like the fray when you do start to get dry mouth and some stuff pitch like that. It's kind of cooked gal like a smoothie, some stuff pitch like that kind of fray. Just some of those type pitches. Now within product, whether it would be you obviously could get water, something like that within pitches. Getting like a banana, strawberry banana type smoothie or one of those type pitches. But this product, some sort of smoothie type fit or just other type products, just in general pitch like that. Something kind of take something get the thirst quench pitch like that. I suppose those pitches. Coffee talk type fare within those pitches, like a death metal type sense good pitch like that. Just kind of detail me as far as this pitch is going to happen. Yeah, good coffee talk in terms of death metal. So it's just kind of pitch, the standard Terra pitch like that. Just further dungeon type music, more or less, within those pitches as well as far as those pitches have. But just been just like the smoke filled type room pitch like that. It's kind of standard. Why do you think that Cameron Diaz is ugly pitch like that? Sounds a phrase. It's not to say full bound within those pitches, but just kind of random type statements pitch like that. Just as far as saying particular pitch like Jennifer Love. Like particular miss or something like that, not liking Jennifer Love Hewitt or something like that. Sounds a bitch. What's wrong with her as far as this bitch can happen? She have a better singing voice, something like that, pitch like that. But yeah, this other type of phrase, detail me, pitch like that is kind of paid just like the phrase, other type of products within the pitch. It is standard gab within the product of prime time type fits within the smoke type products. The pitch like that is probably what the phrase going to have. But hit type pitch amongst the aspects of the phrase, as far as saying. Good aspects here within pitch like that. So within the phrase, as far as talking about it, 10 out of 10 album within these pitches. Kind of wayside within these pitches, but it is kind of a more or less commercial kind of death metal type album. So the pitch for us saying definitely some good nice phrase, paying attention like the social score. Only one single and it didn't chart a little bit in Europe, pitches like that, but it's kind of phrase for us saying just to probably get towards some of these type ones. It has some good dungeon typeness on here, and it does have like some crossover type vocals within the pitch. Kind of traces of Evanescence on here, but just more with the screamo type sense for like some death and kind of black metal as far as this pitch counts. So within the pitch for us saying some drinking game type sessions to get towards some more vicious type tear ups. So it's kind of pitch for us saying some of these type ones, this active kind of phrase like Gal Aaron's pitch like that, just kind of getting the aspect of the product. This is just a rougher album than Evanescence pitch like this. So it has some of these type areas that just natural good pheromones to kind of just blister towards as far as this pitch comes. So it's kind of phrase, not like it's full bound kind of bust things and just kind of destroy the household pitch like that, but it is the phrase part saying distress relief, something that fares just paying attention like the appetite, just having like that the carnage unvent in addition to like some post-hour type fares within the pitch as far as paying attention like the product of afterwards, kind of figuring out the modes of just how to sate things, pitch like that between smoothies, suicides, potato wedges, something that pitch like that, just hit that phrase plus the aspect is 21 questions that varies kind of pitches some of those type some of those type products and pitch like that. Just kind of here in the fray of just like particular aspects of post-hour type primetime coffee talk and pitch. Some post-hour kind of primetime type coffee talk within pitch like that as far as those phrases come. But other type pitches, good hit products within those phrases. Kind of the aspect. Yeah, good gothic sheen to like an alternative and kind of death metal kind of good nice gothic kind of sheen to like an alternative and gothic metal kind of commercial death metal type album within pitch like that. So kind of the phrase, kind of within the valve, kind of does it in certain type of senses, but doesn't try to break too evenly for like the full band. It has traces where it has some radio type glam factor where it is a good nice portion to kind of get towards, but it's not full bound enveloped in like the market every day. So this is not 6 tons platinum, 10 tons platinum type album. It is a pitch for it saying good nice products like an alternative. If you know Evanescence, if you know In This Moment, if you know Avril Lavigne, some type of Starless pitch like that, and just other type bands within those pitches like My Chemical Romance and Green Day and some stuff folks like that, other type pitch is kind of product. This is a good one to look into. Kind of not so much secondary in terms of quality, but just kind of next door neighbor to like the products like some banner kind of goth and alternative type fairs, and especially death metal. For death metal, this is pretty banner type one. I'd say this is probably like the Green Day for death metal, at least from what I've heard thus far with them pitch like that, as far as paying attention to the one that has like some commercial trace. So it's definitely, in terms of death metal, it's pretty good radio bound typeness, but in terms of like alternative and hot topic typeness, it's probably next door neighbor could pitch like that. But hit that phrase, monk set. 10 social. Probably could have used another single, but there were some choices pitched like that. I do feel like In Dreams is pretty close. And I would have to say I like some dungeon type ones off here, like Pussy, Sugar, and so on. So ones are pretty good with those aspects pitched like that. Pretty good, nice ones for like Food for Less type runs, and just Pizza, Little Caesars type runs pitched like that, getting shit base. So pitched like that. In terms of future, like, yeah, particularly Kittie dropped like a 2025 EP and a 2024 album. So with things pitched, they're back on the scene. They took like a mild kind of break for like a decent spell with them pitched like that in like the 2010s. Definitely some excellent type race get towards more of these pitches like that with things race. So yeah, there's gonna be more Kittie down the road as far as these pitches gonna happen. I have one particular that's gonna happen this year with things. Probably it's not within the immediate. I wouldn't hold your breath within the immediate type aspect, but there will be some more Kittie that pops up throughout the route. So some of these type things, so stay tuned for that. But it's definitely a good classic kind of death metal type album in commercial sense and fairs like that.